Now, when we went from I shouldn't say we, I've never been on the ice with the Comets. When the Comets went from the IHL to the CHL, we talked about it was a younger league, it was a faster league. So the roster has changed. Some of the veteran guys. One of the great things about the Comets is you know some of those guys year in, year out. The PCs, the Gees, the Collins. How would that change now from the CHL to the ECHL?
Very significantly, because there's 4 veterans. So suddenly, the key to this summer is, usually in the past, the key has been, okay, what veterans are they signing? They try to sign the veterans first because there's 5, or in the IHL there was 6 or 7 or whatever. So you want to get all your veterans lined up first. In the ECHL, you're going to want to get all your kids lined up first, I think. And I think you're going to look at them trying to sign guys like J.M. Risk and Chris Auger and Kaylee Schrock and Stefan Thorne, Daniel Maggio possibly, Brian Molly. I mean, they're going to try and sign the younger kids first because you've only got 4 veteran spots. The goalies don't count. Well, you've got 8 veterans right now on the roster who would be veterans under ECHL rules. So you know that that's not going to work. So the most important thing is to get the continuity with the younger kids that you've developed this year. Because you know out of those 8 veterans, you're going to be able to get 4, pretty much. I guess out of those 7 veterans, because you don't count Nick because he wouldn't count as a goalie. And everybody, from what I've heard so far, wants to come back. So you've got a glut right now.
Still a good problem to have when people want to play for you, though. As far as this team goes, how do you keep that continuity then from this league to the next league when you're cutting down the number of veterans, which has been a big key for the Comets, the veteran play? How do you keep that continuity and that winning attitude, other than the fact that yes, the Frankies are running it and they know what they're doing? Sure. But how do you keep it up when the hockey's going to jump up a level?
I don't know.
You don't think
I want to
so?
see that.
That's what everybody says.
Everybody always said the Central League was so much better, and I think that's Boulder Dash. Nobody scored. They couldn't score. They weren't skilled enough to score. They were faster, they were younger, and they hustled. I'll give you that. But the skill level was not the same. And you'll never convince me that the goaltending was that much better than the IHL goaltending, because it was the same guys a lot of times. I mean, Adam Russo was an IHL goalie. I'm not buying it. Now, the speed and the youth and the hustle, I'll give you that completely. But I'm not sure they knew how to play the game as well.
Yeah, but what about a more prospect-driven league, the ECHL, and teams above them? Maybe they get another deal with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
See, I don't think they will. I think the Comets will go independent.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
Because if they go independent, what's the advantage? They'll just have more control over who they play, who coaches. All that kind of stuff.
So they get an affiliation, and you've signed Nick Boucher. The affiliate sends you a goaltender. Who do you think's going to be the #1 goalie?
Probably the guy that they sent to you that they want to play.
Who's going to be the captain, or who's going to be the starting center? Colin Chalk, who's got 5 rings, or is it going to be
a 19-year-old
kid? Exactly. Why would you do that? Why would Fort Wayne fans want to develop people to leave? Well, where's the benefit to the Fort Wayne fans for that? I mean, yeah, that's selfish. Who cares? They're the ones paying the money. I mean, why would you? I have never understood that. I mean. So you can say you watched some guy play 3 games when he was coming up. Woo-wee! I'd rather see him play 50 games. And they can still call him up from anywhere in the ECHL. It's not like they only have to take him from their affiliates. They can take him from anywhere, just like they could in the CHL or the UHL.
Well, it's kind of like a couple years ago with Mike Ratchuk.
Right.
He just got shuttled back up and forth. We never really got to see what he could do because he never really got comfortable and stayed here long enough. And when he got up there, he didn't play a whole lot.
Right.
So you're saying you'd like to see them in the ECHL, but as an independent?
Oh, I think they'll be. I don't care where they go. I mean, it's irrelevant.
No, it's all personally on you, Blake Sebring.
Yeah, it's irrelevant to me. But I think they'll be an independent because they've always worked well as independent, too. I mean, even in the old IHL days, everybody else would get 15 kids from their NHL team, and if 6 of them stunk, they still had to play them. Whereas the Comets could pick off, they could get guys whose contracts expired, and they could get guys who maybe were a little bit more talented, and they wanted to be here, too. They didn't want to just bounce. They wanted to be here and build a home here and that kind of thing. I mean, you look at Ian Boyce, you look at Kelly Hurd, Guy Dupuis. There's a million guys Max Middendorf, Joel Savage, all those guys were guys who got out of their NHL affiliated contracts and they just wanted to stay in one place and play. And a lot of them ended up moving here and living here.
What are you most looking forward to in this offseason? What are you most looking forward to getting
Sleep.
fleshed out as far as the Comets go?
Okay. It'll be interesting to see how they put together this roster compared to how they put together the roster from the UHL to the CHL. Do they buy the hype of the ECHL is that much better? I think it could be a little faster. It's younger, maybe even still than the CHL. I'm not convinced it's better, but that'll be interesting to see. I want to see what training camp's going to look like this year. It was fun in training camp last year seeing J.M. Risk and Stefan Thorne and those guys really pop out, and it'll be a lot more fun this year seeing who pops out.
How many of these guys do you think fit on an ECHL roster?
The over-under is always 10, and I think we're going to go under this year. I think it'll be 7, 8, 9. This year.
Mostly young guys, or they'll fill their veteran quota?
Yeah, I think it'll probably be half and half. You know, I mean, if you count the goalie, I think Nick will be back. We still don't know if anybody wants to retire yet.
That's true.
I mean, and it's really kind of unfair to ask at this point. I mean,
I do.
Sober up, guys, first before we ask you these questions. I mean, they've been partying so hard and having such a good time, and they're all still hurting physically, so you want to give them a little bit of time to relax a little bit and think about it and, discuss with their families and stuff. But I could see 2, 3, 4 of them. You never know. I mean, it's always funny to me that it's usually more guys retire than what you expect. And it just seems to have worked that way.
Yeah, we didn't expect Ciro to retire.
We didn't expect Tab Lardner to retire last year. We didn't expect Derek Petrasso. I mean, there were a bunch of guys, that you just, wow, okay, I guess that's it, And it's a great opportunity when you have a chance to go out with a title.
And as far as the offseason goes, you'll keep us updated. Tailing the Comets.
I'll do my best.
As always, the best source to get your Comet information. Of course, we'll have you covered here on Wayne TV, but nobody does it quite like Blake. Blake, we appreciate having you in studio all season. Join us live there at the Coliseum as well. And apparently almost every time.
I got my last 2 predictions correct, too.
You did. And apparently almost every season that we've done this, the Comets have brought home a championship. So it must be good luck in some sense, right?
Yeah, right.
We have a lot to do with it.
I'm sure.
With the product on ice.
I'm sure.
We'll tell ourselves that and look in the mirror and make ourselves feel good. Well, he's Blake. I'm Glenn. And thanks for joining us all season long with Inside the Zone right here on Wayne.com.